show?
I missed you. I missed you.
How was your show?
Oh.
You're not nice to me.
I knew it was big. I knew it.
Now that clip that I just showed you guys is a clip of Jeffree Starr from the Warped Tour in 2009, and this is also a clip that a lot of people are using against Jeffree Starr to call him a hypocrite. Now what I want to do today is take a look at this clip and find out if there is any deeper context to this, where this video actually came from, and if this video is a skit, because if it's not a skit, this video is sexual assault, and that is not only terrible, but also extremely hypocritical when you look at this tweet. Why is your brother a predator? Why did you move back to New York City? Exactly. Now before I go any further to do with this clip with Jeffree Starr, I do just want to premise this video with the fact that I am not defending James Charles whatsoever. I don't think that because somebody was hypocritical, it means that we should overshadow from somebody's actual actions and real information. I do just want to ask you guys though to sit through this full video and actually watch it and build your own opinion at the end of this video, because obviously this is a very controversial video and I know a lot of other people have spoken about it, but I would really appreciate it if you guys did just sit through this whole thing. Now the obvious problem with this video is that it does appear that Jeffree Starr does grope a random guy, and if this clip isn't a skit, as I previously said, this would be extremely hypocritical considering the guy has denounced somebody for alleged predatory actions. Now when I first saw the clip, I was genuinely shocked, but I did think to myself, well, it was 2009 and it could have just been a joke video, because somebody did point out to me on Twitter that back in the day, people like Shane Dawson and Jeffree Starr used to have shock humor where they would upload shock related videos which are all scripted, but I did a little bit of research and found where this full clip actually came from, and this is the only video I could actually find to do with this clip. So what I'm going to do is play this full clip and give you guys the previous context and the context afterwards, so you can kind of make your own opinion. And I do have to actually give my own royalty-free instrumental music in this because, you know, there is copyrighted music and I don't want this video to get copyright claimed.
What's up, MySpace? It's Jeffree Starr.
And Daniel.
Welcome to Warped Tour, bitch. How was your show?
I missed you. I missed you.
How was your show? You're not nice to me.
I knew it was big. I knew.
Now, a few people have come out and said that this person was a friend of Jeffree Starr and this person is an Instagram star who makes his own skit-based videos, but I do have to ask the question of, if this was a skit, why did he move his hand and why did he move backwards? Now there really isn't much information to do with this video. I haven't found any statements in regards to it because it is a very old video. I saw a few people come out and say that the guy didn't mind what Jeffree did, but I couldn't find any proof or any clips. And honestly, I was a little bit confused when I saw a few people come out and say, oh, it was 2009, he's a changed man, he's completely different to what he is now. Now when it comes to things like getting exposed for older tweets, in the most cases, as long as you're not admitting to anything in these tweets, I think there is obviously going to be a case of people do grow and people do learn. And also, I don't necessarily get too upset by old tweets because for the most part, these tweets were jokes in a different time on the internet where shock and edgy humor was, I guess, more celebrated. And edgy humor does still exist now. And to be honest, I don't really get that offended by older tweets in general. But we have to fully acknowledge there is a difference between an old edgy tweet and something like that video. Somebody did respond to a tweet of mine saying that Jeffree Starr did acknowledge his past controversies in his documentary with Shane Dawson, but to be honest, I can't really remember him acknowledging this video. All I can really remember him is for acknowledging his past videos to do with racial abuse. Now, regardless of the controversies that Jeffree has admitted to in the past, I think it is a little bit different when it comes down to actual physical abuse. I think we've seen in the last few years especially that people in Hollywood have come out and been exposed for past predatory actions, and I think if you're going to use the fact that he admitted to having bad controversies in Shane Dawson's documentary, you also have to remember that Shane Dawson is one of the main people on YouTube to call out physical predatorial behavior in Hollywood. Shane is one of those people, so I don't really think that you can use Shane's documentary in this situation to justify Jeffree's actions if these actions were not a skit. Now, I do just want to say for the second time, I fully understand that James Charles has his controversy and has his allegations, and regardless of your thoughts on that, I'm not trying to use Jeffree Starr's new, I guess, situation to brush over that. I think that's very clear considering I've made multiple videos about James Charles. Now, going back to the context of this video, I went into the deep dark side of the internet and found some, old internet forums, and apparently forums still exist on the internet, but I couldn't really find any context. People were accusing Jeffree of sexual assault, and some people were saying it was a joke, but there was really no deeper context to that. And I thought, well, if this situation was a joke, then surely Jeffree Starr would have acknowledged it by now, because it's in other YouTube videos, it's in iMannix's YouTube videos, it's in big tweets. So why would have Jeffree not acknowledged it and actually blocked people for tweeting the video? I mean, Jeffree, if the video was consensual and it was a joke video, then fair enough, but I don't understand why you would let people tweet this at you and then just block them despite calling somebody else out for alleged predatory actions the week before. It doesn't make much sense, and it does make you look like a hypocrite. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is a little bit sus that Jeffree has deleted 947 tweets in one day, and that day was a day before Tati Westbrook dropped her video on James Charles. It seems so sus, and I really don't think there is a coincidence there. That is the most tweets up until that point that he had deleted in a day ever. And after that, he continued to delete more tweets. In fact, he deleted around 3,000 tweets. And to be honest, I don't really mind edgy jokes. Like I said before, I don't care about them at all, actually. But it does seem that if you're deleting 3,000 tweets, then you may be trying to hide something there, because that is a lot of tweets, and I really don't think that all 3,000 of them were just jokes. I mean, maybe Jeffree just didn't want to be suspended, but to be honest, the guy is verified, so I don't really think the guy's going to have much trouble when it comes to getting suspended. Now, somebody responded to me on Twitter when I brought up this situation, saying that they were disappointed with me, and I think it was mainly because this is from such a long time ago. But to be honest, when it comes to things like sexual assault allegations or predatory behavior, I don't really think that the timescale matters, because it's such a big thing. There's a difference between making jokes and actual behavior. I don't understand why there's one rule for somebody else and a completely different rule for the other person. I fully understand that Jeffree Starr probably at this point has changed, he probably has grown, and he is probably a completely different person, but the whole point of when it comes to growing as a person is actually facing consequences of your previous actions, which you're then growing from. Now, a friend of mine, Alex, did cover this situation yesterday, and he did point out that Jeffree Starr has a song called Straight Boys, and I shouldn't be laughing, but it's just so mental. I mean, the lyrics of this song are a little bit questionable. Straight boys, where you at? I want to hit you from the back. Straight boys, where you at? I'm a boyfriend, kleptomaniac. I mean, I don't know, Chief. I don't know, but I feel like if we're going to criticize James Charles for saying stuff like this,
we also have very similar
Taste.
tasting, guys, too.
Hot.
Masculine.
Straight.
then we should probably take a look at these songs and think, maybe they're not for the best.
I've always been into straight men.
Now, to be fully fair to Jeffree in this situation, I do fully understand that this song is most likely a joke, and these lyrics, they are funny, but they are also quite creepy. But at the end of the day, for the most part, I feel like everyone is particularly mad at James Charles because of how he actually acted with these straight men. In the situation regarding to where Tati brought up a specific waiter, and the waiter then came out and made a video about James, James did say some questionable things. You're not straight no matter how many times you tell yourself. I mean, it's not questionable, it is just out and out terrible, and I fully acknowledge that James was probably angry in this situation and upset, but at the end of the day, you have no right to tell somebody what their sexuality is. Regarding anyone, you cannot tell somebody what they are into or what their sexuality is, because at the end of the day, we are our own person, you know? I don't really think it's fair for anyone to choose for somebody, especially when you're trying to convince them that they're homosexual to get with them. Now, I am going to offer the full context of that situation. Basically, the waiter did tell James that he was bi-curious, and they did meet up, and they did kiss for around an hour, but then the waiter did decide that he isn't gay. He went through the stage of being bi-curious, and he is not gay, and I think regardless of anyone's opinions on that, we should respect that, and we should fully agree with that. So what James did with them text messages or Instagram messages, they're not acceptable. They're not acceptable whatsoever. But again, we do just have to throw back to the deleted tweets of Jeffree Starr. And I know I said that I'm not bothered by edgy jokes, but a lot of these tweets do just say that he does want to get with straight men, or he has got with straight men. And as long as it was consensual, that's absolutely fine. But it does seem to be that you were just in a way doing what James Charles was doing with straight men. You wanted to get with them and I guess change their sexuality. So it does seem a little bit hypocritical to me that you've denounced James Charles despite these tweets and despite the clip that I showed at the starting of this video. And I do fully understand that this video could just be a skit, but it is a bit strange to me that he's blocked people who have tweeted at him and he's deleted so many tweets despite some of these tweets mentioning straight men. It is all a little bit confusing here. And if I am being fully honest, this whole situation has tired me out and confused me so much because there is so much false information going around now about practically everyone. I just don't know what to believe. There's false information about James Charles' past high school life and just so much more. There are people coming out with experience-based videos with James Charles despite having no experience with the guy. So my mind is so clouded, and I can understand why the entirety of the YouTube community that aren't in the beauty community are so confused. And people may get upset and try to say that I'm cutting off criticism from James Charles. I'm not doing that. I'm not cutting off valid criticism. I'm cutting off false information because I know false information only does bad for everyone, because false information is not good for victims. It means less and less people will be believed in the future if they actually have been affected by real predatory behavior. So I think it is the only option to come out and denounce false information, just like the previous high school thing and just like people's pretend fake experiences with James Charles. And from the perspective of somebody that doesn't claim to be a part of the beauty community, I think it is totally fair to question everyone in this situation, including James Charles, Jeffree Starr, iNabber, Gabriel Zamora, and even Tati Westbrook. I think the whole point of this is we need to ask questions to get down to the definitive facts of the situation. I mean, Jeffree put on Twitter around a week ago that he banned James from his house in February, but a month ago said he couldn't wait to see the guy. I mean, it is a bit confusing when you see these things. And people may come out and say, well, why can you question Tati Westbrook in this situation? And I think it comes to the point of where you question the intentions of actually making this video. And I have flip-flopped on this quite a lot, but I think it is understandable to question the motives, because if this information is all 100% real, why was it kept for so long? I feel like as long as the victims are okay with it, the information needs to be published immediately. It seems like so many people in the past have hid information for no particular reason, for maybe even self-gain. So that is another reason to question all the other people in this situation. And I do fully understand that I have said in previous videos that people may not have come out against James Charles because they were scared of the reaction, or they didn't have enough people to back them because they didn't know the story. But at this point, it does seem that a lot of people knew the story before it even came out. What with Jeffree Starr deleting his tweets before the video even came out, it was a little bit confusing, and I don't believe there is much of a coincidence there. So why was this story not put out earlier? I think that's a fair question for anyone to ask. At the end of the day, this is not just based on James Charles. This is about victims in general. This is about how we work out to protect actual victims in actual real situations. Now, a lot of people may be wondering what my updated take on James Charles in this situation is. Basically, I do still believe that the guy has done bad things. I do believe that this guy has the ego high as a skyscraper at this point, and I believe that he has tried to shut people up in the past, and you know, he has lied quite a lot in this situation, including in his apologies. But there is so much false information going around about him, so much it's absolutely ridiculous. So my mind is clouded to the point of where I'm not going to accuse him of anything, and I'm just going to say, in my personal opinion right now, I believe James has done bad, and he probably is a bad person. Now, that is the end of the video, and I genuinely do really appreciate it if you stayed behind to watch the entire thing and listen to my opinions regardless of if you agree or disagree with me. I would really appreciate it if you did drop a like on this video, because I know this is going to get bombarded with dislikes, and I know a few people may unsub. Fair enough, you don't want to be here anymore. That's completely fair, and I would love to know your guys' thoughts on it. So just go to the comment section and let me know, and also let me know your thoughts at Twitter, at iNabber, where I'm always active, and also at Instagram, at iNabber. And before I end the video, I am going to thank my Patreons. Big thanks to Becky, Charlie, Jakazi, Scrubby, Lilla, Ali, Kate, Charlotta, Courtney, Iriana, Alien21, XX, Brianna, Sadie, Rubes, Dylan, Sophia, Luce, Kath, Louisa, Meredith, Quiet, Chew, Caitlin, Karika, The Bratty Beauty Guard, Mary, Riley, Neve, Inochi, Jessica, Annabeth, Tonji, Anna, Sills, Borglaka, Leah, Harry, Abby, Kalia, Heidi, Maddie, Zoe, Vivian, Abigail, Aubriana, Nia, Prince, Leo, Parry, Al, Godzilla, Heather, Megan, Jamie, Noku, Alex, Pastor, Bugger Badger, Clarissa, Alex, Hannah, Olivia, In My Shoes, Michael, Michaela, Henry, Maya, Zombie Cesar, and Rockstar. Thank you so much for pension to the Patreon. Thank you so much for sitting through this entire video and watching it. And that is the end of the video. I'm losing my breath at this point because I'm so tired and so thirsty. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.